I used to believe fear came from not knowing. I was wrong. Fear comes from knowing exactly what you're seeing and realizing there's no explanation that makes it better. In 2019, I worked as a surveillance technician in northern Arizona. My job was boring, predictable, and safe. Install cameras, configure servers, leave. I didn't believe in ghosts, monsters, or conspiracy theories. I believed in faulty wiring and human error. That belief died somewhere between Flagstaff and a patch of forest I still can't find on any map. The job came through a third-party contractor, private land, old hunting camp, 8 cameras, local storage only, no internet connection. That last part bothered me, but not enough to refuse the work. The drive took 4 hours. The road disappeared long before my GPS did. When I arrived, the camp looked untouched. Not abandoned, just empty. Like everyone had left calmly, without a struggle. There were 3 cabins, a main lodge, and a long, windowless structure near the trees. It wasn't on the blueprint. Inside the lodge, above the doorframe, someone had carved vertical lines into the wood. Dozens of them. Deep. Deliberate. I installed the cameras before sunset. 1 covered the dirt road. 2 covered the forest perimeter. 1 pointed directly at the windowless building. When I checked the live feeds, 1 camera refused to stay focused. It kept blurring, then sharpening. That's when I saw something standing beyond the tree line. It was tall, thin, still, too still. I shut everything down and left. 2 days later, the contractor called. One of their people was missing. I went back because I convinced myself it was coincidence. When I arrived, there were 3 other people at the camp. All men, all quiet. One introduced himself as Mark. Another didn't give a name at all. They took me straight to the server. "Show us everything," Mark said. The footage started at midnight. At 12:17 a.m., a man exited cabin 2. He stood on the porch for almost a full minute, staring into the forest. Then he walked toward the trees. He never came back. At 12:42 a.m., the camera near the windowless building recorded movement. Not the door opening. It never did, but shadows passing beneath it. Multiple. The forest cameras were worse. Something moved between the trees. Not walking, not running, gliding. At 1:03 a.m., all cameras lost focus at once. When the image returned, the man from cabin 2 was standing directly in front of camera 5. His face was blank, mouth open, eyes wide. Behind him, something tall bent down toward his head. The footage ended. One of the men turned off the monitor. "We don't call the police," he said. That's when I realized this wasn't a security job. It was containment. They told me people had been disappearing in this forest for decades. Hikers, hunters, entire search parties, always at night, always without signs of violence. The structure near the trees wasn't storage. It was a shrine. Inside were bones, animal and human, mixed together. Symbols carved into the walls, the same vertical lines I'd seen in the lodge. Tallies. They believed the forest was alive, not metaphorically. They believed something lived in it, something that copied people, something that learned. The cameras weren't meant to protect anyone. They were meant to watch it learn. That night, the forest went quiet. No insects, no wind. At 2:11 a.m., the cameras turned on by themselves. Something stood at the edge of every frame, watching, waiting. The door to cabin 1 opened. I didn't remember opening it. The camera feed showed me stepping outside, but I was still inside, staring at the monitor. I ran. I don't remember how I got to my truck. I don't remember driving. What I remember is the footage that arrived in my mailbox 3 weeks later. No return address, just a hard drive. On it was a single file. Me, standing in the forest, looking directly into the camera, smiling. The video ended with a timestamp from tomorrow. I moved, changed my name, threw away every camera I owned. It didn't matter. Last night, my phone camera activated by itself. For half a second, the reflection in the screen wasn't mine, and behind it, carved into the wall, were fresh vertical lines, one for each of us.